Have you ever owned something you wanted for so long, and the moment you finally got it, the joy disappeared? You worked for it. You dreamed about it. You told yourself, when I have this, I'll finally feel complete. But instead of happiness, there was silence. Why does success sometimes feel so empty? This story will show you what true wealth really means. Once upon a time, in a distant village surrounded by green hills and winding roads, there lived a merchant named Marcus. Marcus was known as the richest man for miles around. His house overflowed with gold coins. Heavy wooden chests held jewels, silk, and treasures from every corner of the land. His walls displayed rare artifacts collected through years of trade and conquest. People bowed when he passed. They envied him. They whispered his name with respect. But Marcus felt nothing. Every morning he counted his gold. Every evening he locked his doors. He trusted no one. He smiled at no one. At night, he lay in his soft bed and stared at the ceiling, listening to the silence of his own thoughts. His heart felt like stone, cold, heavy, empty. He noticed this feeling, but he ignored it. He told himself he needed more, one more treasure, one more deal, one more pile of gold. Then, he believed, I will feel complete. Years passed this way. One quiet afternoon, an old wanderer arrived at Marcus's door. The man wore simple clothes and carried a worn leather bag. His face was wrinkled by time, but his eyes were bright, alive in a way Marcus could not explain. The old man looked at Marcus and smiled gently. "I hear you are the richest man in the village," the wanderer said. Marcus straightened his back. "That is true. No one has more than I do." The old man nodded slowly. "I once knew a man who thought the same. He had mountains of gold, but he died alone, and no one remembered his name." Marcus frowned. "What do you want, old man?" The old man replied, "I want to show you something, true wealth, the kind that never fades." Marcus laughed. "I have seen every treasure. There is nothing you can show me." Without another word, the wanderer reached into his bag and pulled out a folded piece of old paper. "This is a map," he said. "It leads to endless riches, riches beyond anything in your house." Marcus leaned forward. His eyes grew wide. "Where did you get this?" "I took it from a king who lost everything," the wanderer said quietly. "But in losing it, he found something greater." "If you want to see it," he continued, "you must trade me your finest jewel, and you must come with me." Marcus hesitated. His finest jewel was worth more than a house. But endless riches. His greed won. He returned with a ruby as large as his fist. The wanderer took it and handed Marcus the map. "We leave at dawn," the old man said. The next morning they left. Marcus brought a heavy bag of coins and complained within the first hour. The road was dusty. His feet hurt. He was not used to walking. "Why can't we hire a carriage?" he asked. "This journey must be made on foot," the wanderer replied calmly. They walked through forests. Marcus stumbled over roots. His fine shoes tore. His back ached. He wanted to turn back, but the thought of endless riches pushed him forward. On the third day, they reached a river. It was wide and fast. There was no bridge. "We must cross," the wanderer said, rolling up his pants and stepping into the water. Marcus stared. "I will get wet. My bag will get heavy." "Then leave it," the wanderer said. But Marcus clutched his coins. The old man was already halfway across. Marcus had no choice. He stepped into the cold water. It shocked his skin. It pulled at his legs. Halfway across, his bag slipped. Coins tumbled into the current and disappeared. "My money!" Marcus gasped. "Keep walking," the wanderer called. Marcus reached the other side, soaked and shaking. He had lost half his coins. He felt angry. He felt cheated. But something else stirred inside him. Something small. Something strange. He felt alive. They continued. They passed through villages Marcus had never seen before. In one village, a poor family invited them to share a meal. Marcus wanted to refuse, but the wanderer accepted. They sat on the ground and ate simple bread and soup. The house had cracks in the walls, but it was filled with laughter. The children played games. Stories were shared. Marcus watched quietly. He could not remember the last time he had laughed. "You have so little," he said to the father. "How can you be so happy?" The man smiled. "We have each other. We have today. What else do we need?" Marcus had no answer. Days turned into weeks. They climbed hills. They slept under open skies. Marcus watched the sun set over valleys he had never seen before, the sky painted orange, pink, and purple. One evening, they sat by a fire. Marcus looked at his hands. They were rough now, dirty. His fine clothes were torn. But he did not feel poor. "Old man," Marcus said quietly, "when will we reach the riches?" The wanderer smiled. "Soon, my friend, very soon." The next morning, they arrived at a hidden cave in the mountains. The entrance was narrow and dark. The wanderer lit a lantern and led the way inside. The cave opened into a vast chamber. Marcus expected gold, jewels, treasures piled high. Instead, there was only one thing: a mirror. Tall, ancient, with a simple wooden frame. "This is it?" Marcus asked. "Look into it," the wanderer said gently. Marcus stepped forward. What he saw made him freeze. The man in the mirror was him, but not the man he knew. The reflection was faded, cracked, empty. The eyes had no light. The mouth had forgotten how to smile. "This is who you were," the wanderer said. "A man who owned everything, but had nothing." Marcus felt tears on his face. "I thought I was rich." "You were rich in things, but things cannot fill a heart." The wanderer's voice softened. "I was once a king. I ruled an empire. I had palaces and armies. Then war came. I lost everything." He paused. "But slowly I learned. I shared meals. I watched storms and sunsets. I listened to songs and stories. Material things decay, but experiences, they stay forever." Marcus turned to thank him, but the cave was empty. The wanderer was gone. Only the lantern remained. Marcus walked home slowly. He helped farmers. He played with children. He listened to elders. When he returned to his mansion, the gold felt cold. So he sold it, and with the rest he lived. Years passed. One day, an old woman asked him, "Are you rich?" Marcus smiled. "I am the richest man alive, because I have lived." True wealth does not come from what you hold in your hands, but what you hold in your heart. So ask yourself, are you building a vault or building a life?